Male strippers of Reddit. What are your most insane stories about bachelorette parties or other gigs? I worked as a male entertainer for about a year. The craziest thing I ever did was probably when I performed for a local farmer whose daughter was getting married soon. She had me and two colleagues carry around a small pig each while we were all in just underwear while her and her friends kissed and caressed the pigs. It was a very weird experience. We spent 2/3 of the night looking after small farm animals in barely any clothing. LMAO, what the f? My guess is that, being a farm girl, she saw the pigs as cute pets, so for her it was like, wow, handsome dudes and cute animals. That sounds like a calendar 2016. Handsome dudes with cute animals. Should I start a Kickstarter? Or an Indiegogo? Would buy. It's a book, actually. I remember seeing a few copies at the bookstore I worked at. Forget the exact title, but it was basically just pictures of hot dudes holding cute animals. Had my friend bought that for me. It is basically, sorts, I have a hot guys and baby animals calendar that my girlfriend got me for Christmas. Got that for my dad as a gag gift from Five Below. I'm a nursing student and my instructor told me of a patient she had who came in with a UTI. He was a male stripper, and his thing was to calf himself and fill his bladder with wine, then urinate it into the women's glasses. Pinot Grigio, Dom Perignon, Pinot Noir, mid-sized car, caviar, shooting star, open bar, large fry, chocolate shake, Michael Jackson. This made me laugh out loud. In college my friend's mom hired me and my friends to be the entertainment at her friend/coworker's birthday. Friend's mom was like 50 and coworker was turning 30. I wasn't a stripper, I didn't even dance, but my friends and I made parkour videos, and she said something like, just do something like that to wow people, and since I was broke and she gave me $300 I showed up figuring I'd wing it. But everyone was already trashed when I got there and all these older women were hitting on me pretty heavily. Friend's mom kept encouraging me to lose the shirt, and since I really didn't know what the f to do to entertain them, I lost the shirt and tuck shots and did some horrific interpretation of Magic Mike dance for the mother of a friend I've known since I was 14. I still can't tell if I love or hate that memory. After you said parkour videos my first thought was you guys doing shirtless parkour in the house, and all I could think of was mediocre vaults and leapfrog. I like my version more. Mediocre vaults and leapfrog would be the best entertainment. Me too. I really started to cringe at that point in the story, but it did turn around. Still better than Matt Hoss. I imagine crashed furniture and broken glass. Crying homeowners. Glorious. Leaping off couches, balancing on banisters. Hardcore parkour. I'm not a male stripper, but during my friend's bachelorette party, the male stripper was surprised that none of us wanted to f him. Apparently that's a common thing that happens. Friend who was male stripper said that he did a move pretending to have bride fell at him behind a towel and 9/10 times the bride would. He was hella hot with a great package, so I don't blame them. God damn, this thread is depressing. I think most people don't know anyone who would actually do this. I've been to a ton of bachelorette parties, I'd say more than 10 with male strippers. Never once have I seen someone hook up with him, even at the end of the night when everyone was leaving. He's there as a joke. It's not even arousing, lol. It's some oiled up gigantic dude getting naked and thrusting. It's hilarious, not s***y. Every time this type of question is posted, the same stories come up. Sure, it's not every single party, but it seems to be insanely common. Those girls probably cheat anyway. That might be a wrong conclusion from selection bias. So what if there are about 100 of those stories in a thread like this? Or even 200? Compare that to how many millions of people from all over the world are reading and writing on askReddit. Of course these stories get told here because they seem interesting. But it might very well be that in way over 99% of bachelorette parties with strippers no such thing happens. And the people who went to these parties just don't tell about it here because, well, there is nothing really to tell. Not a stripper, but my aunt got remarried about 13 years ago, but the memory everyone in my family will never forget is the stripper. He was a midget male stripper. He was very short, but had muscles and abs for days. He would do backflips off tables, climb walls with his ass, and could dance to any song that played. The best part was when my very shy mom was alone in the corner and he ran up to her and did a handstand while shaking his ass in her face. He must have made a truckload of money that night. All the girls loved him and he was so nice. Danny DeVito? Let's hope he didn't lose his monster condom while there. How does an ass breathe? I just know this is a trick question. I'm a woman. Went to a male revue for my cousin's 21st birthday party. What struck me most was that there was little to no restrictions on the behavior of the women in attendance. I briefly worked as a bartender at a go-go bar, lady dancers, and the owner and bouncers were extremely vigilant about the male customers being aggressive or threatening. Without the physical threat being a factor, the women customers at the male revue were extremely handsy, shall we say. After the show, it sort of turned into a Roman orgy. Some highlights? After the show, the male dancers offered massages to the ladies, for extra cash, of course. I was on the couch, sort of awkwardly squished, between one of our party members dry humping one of the dancers and another party member extremely relaxed, sitting on the floor and moaning, while a dancer massaged the hell out of her shoulders. Another of our party members ended up having sex with a dancer in a bathroom stall. One of our party members somehow, someway, and I have no idea how, ended up misplacing her underwear, and she was wearing a short skirt. One of the dancers was pulling her up on stage, because after the show the dancers pulled a lot of ladies on stage, and she drunkenly slipped and fell on her, but with her legs splayed, underwearless. I lost my V card to a guy who stripped on the side. Apparently female audiences are a lot wilder and grabbier, which helps energize the dancers. But male audiences tip much better. So do the male dancers. A friend of mine got pregnant when she was 15. I was 16. She was forced to marry the guy who got her pregnant, so we threw a bachelorette party and ordered a stripper. The guy came, never asked our ages, then proceeded to dance around in his gold banana hammock and eventually fondled and dry humped every last one of our 15 to 16-year-old bodies. Sounds like an outline for a trashy chick-lit story, but nope. It was fun. No regrets. How did the marriage turn out? Getting married at 15 seems like a recipe for disaster. Yeah, not good. These things rarely work out. They had 2 kids and divorced in their early 20s. That's awful. Why did they have to get married in the first place? Small town mentality. You're a whore if you're an wed mother, but Jesus forgives you if you get married and have more kids. Yup, totally f***ed. This was 15 years ago, but still. But they were okay with the party? That seems really inconsistent. No, they didn't know about the party. Jesus did. I'm a little too buzzed to write out something new, but I'll cut and paste something I stuck on Reddit about a year ago. When I was young and stupid, I was an adult entertainer. We often would get a bus before dancing to relate to guests, and because it was enjoyable. For guys the chemical of choice tends to be GHB or G. It allows you to dance, enjoy yourself, express your sensuality and sexuality without inhibition. All this leads to more money. The one thing you can't do is mix G with alcohol. Big no that can lead to very dangerous situations. One night I had 2 regulars come in, big money spenders. I sat down with the girls and they offered me champagne, so I thought, one tiny flute, what could go wrong? Next thing I know I'm in the locker room, head leaning against the locker almost unable to stand. I hear it's the DJ calling my name to head to one of the satellite stages. I'm completely shitty. The owner is in the house and I get a brilliant idea. I don't have the physical dexterity to strip in this state, so I will take off all my clothing in the locker room and just walk through the crowd. So I did. All eyes were on me, confused. My friends knew I was f***ed up, so they thought it was hilarious. I made it to the stage, navigated the flashing, colored steps and got up in position. Wobbly-legged and disoriented, I figured the best dance I could give to the 10 to 12 women was leaning against the mirror, swaying, not falling. That didn't hold up. I slid to the floor, just as the manager P with one of my buddies managed to carry me off the stage and back to the locker area. Screwed up royally in a show bar and got naked. GHB can f*** you up bad if mixed. My friend is head security at a club that's known for a lot of gay guys being on the G water. told me about how one night a woman drank alcohol and she passed the f out. Eyes rolling. Luckily, since it's a big gay joint, there was an EMT. Gay guys in the medical field, it's weirdly common. So he helped her until an ambulance picked her up. Also, there's a very fine line between not quite enough and way too much. I'm big on weigh your doses of anything you're doing. Keep track of your shit. I find a lot of the times I'm the outlier in groups because I do just that.